Couples that do these 4 things will never break up. I love this. It's like the practices you can focus on every single day, or the check marks to make sure your relationship's going in the right direction, that you're the best person in your relationship to give that relationship the best chance. Number 1 is becoming happy in yourself.
If you don't know what makes you happy, how do you expect someone else to make you happy? If you don't know yourself well enough, how are you supposed to expect someone else to know you well enough? It's so important that you're filling up your own cup, that you're meeting like all of your own needs, so then your partner gets to experience the best version of you, and you get to create new experiences together rather than coming to the relationship with lacks and expecting somebody else to fulfill them for you.
You bring your whole life into a relationship. There's so many external stresses. You bring your past into a relationship. You bring every other relationship you have into the relationship. So you need to become happy in yourself. If you're working a job you hate for 40 hours a week and you're wondering why that's upsetting your relationship, like, it's not hard to work out. You need to become happy in yourself. You need to become the fittest version of you, so you're healthy. You need to sort your mindset out. And then your career, making sure you do something you love for work. Finances, making sure you're not stressed out with finances. Get on top of it, get organized, make a plan. Social life, have other social interactions, not just your relationship. That's something we can be guilty of sometimes, of not prioritizing other social relationships rather than just our relationship.
Yeah, and I do believe on that, it's just the period of life that we're in right now, of really
seasons.
Yeah, it's just a season that we're in right now.
And it's okay to go through seasons in your relationship. Even the couple I coached last night, when you start a relationship, it's so easy for it to feel effortless, and you probably have loads of sex. It's very exciting, not much arguments. And then you go through a different season in your relationship where you move in together, you're having to go to work every day, you're having to balance other relationships, you're having to balance going to the gym. And then all those external stresses will affect your relationship. And then it just calls for another layer of you, right? It calls for deeper understanding of your partner, of yourself, more skills in the relationship. And that's how you grow together in that relationship. So number 2 is learning to understand and communicate your needs. If you don't understand your own needs, how can you expect your partner to understand your needs? Love is very complicated. Loving another person can be very complicated. Everyone has their unique ways of how they want to give love, how they want to receive love, what makes them feel reassured, what makes them feel safe, what makes them feel recognized. And if you don't understand that for yourself, then you're not going to get your needs met, because your partner's not going to understand that, right? So it's so important that you understand yourself, of what makes you feel good, what makes you feel bad, what makes you feel safe in that relationship, what makes you feel connected with your partner, what makes you feel insecure, jealous. You need to understand all this stuff about yourself so that you can communicate it to your partner. And understanding it's only the first step. Like, communicating it's so important too.
Yeah, and something, before we move on to how to communicate it, something that I find so beautiful and something that we do mention a lot is being able to understand your needs, to communicate that with your partner. It strengthens the relationship so much more for the point of view of, if I love when you come home and you have a massive smile on your face and you come directly to me and hug me. Like, I feel like that's a need, or it's something that I just genuinely like because it makes me feel loved and appreciated. It's like, imagine if I never communicated that with you and you didn't do it. But the fact that I have communicated that with you, every single time Charlie comes home, he has a massive smile on his face and he gives me a hug, and it makes me feel so much love. So not only am I happy within myself, however, I've communicated with my partner how to love me even better, to show how much he loves me.
Yes, finding out the specific of what makes your partner feel loved, what makes you feel loved. Can you actually tell your partner that? I had a client last week who said, my partner always tells me she loves me, but I've become so desensitized to that. Like, I don't feel it as much anymore, because my ex-partner said that to me and she went and cheated on me. Whereas if he recognized that when my partner says everything's going to be okay, you're doing a great job, like, that actually lands, that feels real, rather than I love you is just, it's like a knee-jerk reaction when couples see each other. It's like, I love you. Yeah. A lot of time it just washes over their partner's head rather than saying specific things. Thank you so much for washing up. That was so helpful. Thank you for making the bed this morning. Thank you for taking the bins out. Thank you for giving me that reassurance, rather than just, I love you. I love you's lazy sometimes. Okay. Next one, building the friendship and be able to make them laugh.
And that's when, you know, I believe it's like that. It's like true love. When you get invited to go somewhere, you know that you want to take your partner. When you get good news, you know that you want to tell your partner.
First person you want to tell.
Yeah, the first person you want to bring anywhere, the first person you want to tell things to. It's not just because I'm obsessed with you or anything like that. It genuinely is just because you're my best friend. I'm wanting to have all these fun experiences with you.
Yeah, having your friendship in your relationship, because sometimes when the red hot intimacy isn't there, it falls down to the friendship. That's the baseline. That's the foundation of your relationship. It doesn't rise to the level of your intimacy and crazy hot sex. It falls to the level of your friendship. It falls to the level of, do you actually like your partner? Do you like them? Do you like spending time with them?
Yeah, it's like there's so much more to a relationship than just romantic chemistry and sexual chemistry. It genuinely is. It's like on our dates, like normally on a day-to-day basis, it's just us playing jokes with each other and like funny banter. And
every day I'm like, how can I make Mia laugh today? And I just try and do something funny. You're never intentionally funny. I feel like you're just funny as a person.
I feel like I'm just silly sometimes. Like I feel like I'm silly, which is funny.
Whereas I'm more intentional with it. Like, this is to make Mia laugh. Whereas Mia just goes about life and it makes me laugh. Just watching you go about life.
Terrible.
Why does it sound terrible? When you're going about your day and something funny happens, can you store that? And I can't wait to tell my partner about that when I get home. That's how you build a great relationship. You share your moments, you share the funny things, you share the hardest moments, you share the best moments. And that emotional intimacy comes from there.
And something that's really helped me as well sometimes when I look at our relationship and I was like, okay, what would you want to do with your best friend right now? It's like, would you want to go and have this fun adventure? Like, yeah, definitely a mindset that I've been having lately since we are so business focused, work focused, and then relationship focused. Like our friendship just lays in between that. And better ways to actually build our friendship is actually, you do that so well by every single day. How can I make Mia laugh? So I don't intentionally have that viewpoint every day. However, what I view is like, okay, what is a date thing that we could do this week that's actually
you're way
a
better at
best
that.
friend focused of just like silly and it's fun and of course romance. We obviously love each other, so that naturally comes in with it. However, having dates that are just focused on like, would I want to do this with my best friend? Absolutely. This is so much fun.
Appreciate them for who they are. Values is something that people don't understand. Everyone has their own set of values, and values are your highest priority items. What's most important to you? What motivates you? The invisible forces that dictate your life, like every decision, action, habit you do, it's driven by your values. It's driven by your internal compass of what's important, what's right, what's wrong, what must you do to feel fulfilled. And everyone has a different set of values. And sometimes you try and project your values onto your partner. If you don't understand it, your partner might be doing something that makes them happy, whereas you're looking at them and thinking, that's not how they should be living life because that's not how I want to live life. So you project your values onto them. This might come out as criticism or judgmental or controlling behavior, where you try and manipulate them a little bit to change their behavior because they're not living up to your highest values. But you need to realize they've got their own set of values. And until you realize that, you'll always be trying to change them. And that's such a big cause of conflict. The highest return on investment in your relationship is spending 2 hours finding out your values, finding out your partner's values, and then creating as many links as possible between all the values. You only have to do it once, and then that'll be the highest return on investment for your relationship. Just 2 hours of doing that, but most people aren't willing to do that. And then that'll help your relationship for the next 5-10 years. Send this podcast to your partner to listen to, and then come together and have a conversation about it. That builds the intellectual intimacy so much. So thank you for watching. And also let us know if you're listening to the podcast. Send us a message. We love hearing from you.
Thanks guys so much. We love having you here.